everyone, my name is Financial Charles. Today is November 12th of 2023 and the current Bitcoin price is approximately at $37,200, so not too much of a price discrepancy between now and last video. As if we zoom in really closely, you could see that yesterday we did have a slight red day, but obviously, moves like this to the long-term investor like ourselves, this does not matter at all. It'd be surprising if you're even looking at the charts this closely as a long-term investor. But, as a long-term investor, we're just here to DCA every, at a regular interval, controlled interval, try not to be emotionally invested, rather logically invested in this market. Today, I wanted to talk about how you would have done if you have been DCAing ever since the top here of November 2021. And I know I say this every video, but it's just very interesting how as time goes on, Bitcoin has proven to function more cyclically, throughout its existence. And what I mean by functioning cyclically is it always seems like there's a perfect 1 year discrepancy between all-time highs and all-time lows. And you can even rewind all the way back here to 2013. Bitcoin peaked here about December 2013, and then in December 2014/January 2015, so about 12 to 13 months later, that's when Bitcoin found its exact bottom. And then, so let's say December 14 to January 15, right? And then if we look back at when we got when we revisited this all-time high that was established in December 2013, you can see that it was established about, let's say December 2016. So we revisited all-time highs 2 years after we set this bottom. So it set the bottom December 2014, let's say, and then you visited the all-time high once again December of 2016. So there was a almost perfect 1 year discrepancy between this all-time high and then the cycle low, give or take 1 month. So obviously 11 to 13 months it would take for this move. And then to revisit the all-time highs, it took almost a picture perfect exactly 2 years to reach the all-time high. And then after it reached the all-time high once again, it set the new one. Let's see, December 2016 is when it revisited, and then it set the all-time high again December 2017. About a perfect 1 year discrepancy there. And then it drops from, oh my goodness, it drops December 2017 and then back in here December 2018 was the bottom. This is a perfect 1 year discrepancy, and then it took another 2 years for Bitcoin to go from the cycle low to revisit its all-time high. As you could see here, we revisited the all-time high December of 2020, or you can even say November of 2020. So that's another perfect 2 years, give or take a month. And then from the December of 2020, it set the all-time high in December of 2021. This was set November 10th of 2021. And, that right there, again, it's a perfect 1 year discrepancy, give or take a month. And then from November 10th of 2021, it set the all-time low November 21st of 2021. But obviously it was already at this, $15,000 range on November 10th of 2022. Or did I say 2021 over here? I meant 2022. So between this peak and this cycle low, this is also another perfect 1 year discrepancy. And this is probably the most perfect one because it was just off by a couple days. And then, so given that data, perhaps we can expect to see, if this was November 2022, we might be revisiting all-time highs, November of 2024, give or take a couple months or so. And then obviously 1 year after that would be November of 2025. So that would probably be where the new all-time high is if we assume that Bitcoin continues with this cyclical patterns. And I do believe that the cyclical patterns are influenced by the Bitcoin halving event that happens every 4 years. I do think, as time goes on, there's more evidence to prove that Bitcoin price goes up due to the supply shock that the Bitcoin halving causes. So this is probably, it's the best time. It's been officially 1 year since, we set these all-time lows. And I'm going to show you guys with Benjamin Cowen's, DCA simulation calculator, how you would have fared, DCAing just 1 year ago today. Over the past year, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was shilling Bitcoin to everyone when it was, making this move. I wasn't really shilling up here, or I guess I was, but I was shilling to all my friends back when it was at 15,000 over here. Not even when it was like at this level, but I was shilling it 15,000. And I remember people were trying to make arguments with me talking about that there's no intrinsic value with Bitcoin. They said that all the way down here at 15,000, and then they end up buying at 37,000 once Elon Musk gave them permission to buy. So, you don't want to operate like that. I think it's just a constant DCA. That's what a long-term investor does. Just DCA and don't even bother looking at the prices, because it's a waste of energy to look at prices if you already are set on the strategy of just buying every single week or every single 2 weeks or however often, whatever interval you would like to invest at. But let me go to this DCA calculator. I'm going to show, okay, so it defaults to $100 weekly, which is fine. I think that's pretty reasonable for the average person. Like, I mean, if you don't have an extra $100 per week laying around, then that's a issue that you need to solve. Let's start this DCA. Is this month date? Okay, we'll start it on November 10th of 2021, which was the exact high, and then we'll do the ending date. Let's say we'll do 11/10 of 2023. So this is how you would have fared if you DCA'd $100 a week for the past 2 years, because it's been officially 2 years since Bitcoin has reached its peak. You would have invested $10,000, and it'd be worth $13,000. So that'd be a 32% gain, which is very significant. Let's just make this more realistic. I'm gonna say you have an extra, $250 per week. So, or let's just say $1,000 a month. I think $1,000 a month is a good idea. You would have invested $24,000 over the past 24 months, and then it'd be worth $31,000 right now. This is assuming that you started at the all-time high of November 10th, 2021. You'd be up 32%. So you're already outpacing the S&P right there. S&P averages about 7 to 10% returns over the long term. Oh no, I just showed you guys. Oh no, that's not good. Well, it's all right. No one's going to be watching this video anyway, so hopefully I don't get doxxed. But anyway, let me show you how you would have fared if you started dollar cost averaging at the very bottom, which was November 10th of 2022, which was exactly 1 year ago today. You would have invested $12,000, and it'd be worth $17,000 right now. You'd be up 42%, which is incredible. And obviously, if you're lump summing at the low, that's probably that's the best strategy here. Dollar cost averaging, it works over time, but over a long enough time frame, it has been proven mathematically that lump sum is superior, because if you had, let's say, $10,000 and you sprinkled buys all the way like here, up here, down here, you'd be up for sure. You'd be like very up. But let's say you lump summed all that $10,000 over here, which was at that time a local high in comparison to where it was here and where it was here. Even if you lump summed up here, you'd be up. Let's even take a measured move here. You'd be up 215%. You'd double, triple your money right there. And yeah, lump sum over the long term is, according to Bitcoin's price action throughout its existence, you'd be better off lump summing. But that's assuming that you have assets, different asset classes and all that stuff. So I mean, we already lump summed a long time ago, and now we're just dollar cost averaging, whatever check we get now. So yeah, dollar cost averaging has proven to be amazing. And then let's even measure how you would have fared dollar cost averaging at this peak, which some say is the real peak, from bottom to top. This was insane how it went here. This is April 17th of 2021, so let's go ahead and enter that in. April 17th of 2021. You'd be up 20% right now, just dollar cost averaging, even all the way back here. And you would have much more expensive buys had you started over here, because you're buying all this area And right now, had you bought in this area only, you'd still be underwater because Bitcoin's price is all the way here. But if you dollar cost average all the way up, then all the way down, and then all the way back up, you would be up 20%. And, how can you argue against Bitcoin with this type of data? I don't know. A lot of people are bearish. But I think what it is people just don't trust things that they don't understand. And it's a shame that people, they decide to not, they choose to not understand it. That's what the issue is. But obviously, as a Bitcoiner, we have been winning. This whole year, this whole entire 2023, we've been winning. If we take a measured move, this was the new year right here. This was when, January of 2023 started. In terms of, where we're at the year, we're up 122%. Had you bought down here, you would have doubled your money. I remember I was working at a real estate brokerage all the way during this whole entire range right here. I was only there for a couple months. I started on this day right here, and then I quit on this day right here. So this little section right here was just full of just, I was paying off some bills, but at the same time, I was dollar cost averaging, and I told my coworkers to keep on dollar cost averaging. And I remember it was this candle right here that my coworker was reading to me, the FTX news headline. And it's just very interesting how mainstream media works to push certain narratives, because I know for a fact that this guy, he didn't care about any crypto news when it was September, October. He didn't care at all. It was only, once the new bottom was set that the mainstream media decided to publish, FTX this, FTX that, and they pushed it to the mainstream media, because I didn't hear about FTX on my own, but I'm so involved in these markets, and, this is the main thing I think about. And then this guy over here, he looks on his mainstream media, news headline, and then he introduces me to the FTX, collapse. Actually, no, I take that back. I did know about the FTX collapse before him, but I didn't bother to bring up any, crypto news or Bitcoin news, because I knew that he wasn't interested. It was that day that he came in and he was asking me, like, yeah, are you sure about this space? Like, it really sounds like this is a dangerous space. You don't want to be into it. So whenever people say that, like, it's so funny how those exact words marked the exact bottom for this cycle. And I told him, according to the data, statistically, this is the best time to ever buy. And had he bought down here, he'd be up 122%. So, like Matthew Crowder says, people will always buy Bitcoin at the price they deserve. So I'm glad that, I was worthy. I deserved it down here. That's amazing. And, we're going to continue to go up. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking we're probably going to reach all-time highs later in 2024, perhaps Q4 of 2024, according to the cyclical nature of Bitcoin, according to past performance. Even though past performance is not indicative of future results, we can assume, based off of the patterns that we've seen ever since Bitcoin's inception. To think that it's not going to go at the all-time high November of 2024, you're going against history. You're going against all the data. So, yeah, this is a good time to keep buying. At my new job, I had this coworker who, I was shilling Bitcoin this whole entire time here. Like, the whole entire time I've been here, I started working, like, back here. And even during this drop, I bought. I didn't buy this exact drop, but I bought, like, somewhere over here. And then I was too scared to buy down here, and then it just rockets up. And then I was like, oh, my God, I should have bought down here. I knew it. But, yeah, it just kept going up. Like, this whole entire time I've been here, it just keeps going up. And, I was shilling it. This was a range that we were stuck at for, like, many months. We've been in this range ever since, like, the spring and the summer. So this was about half the year right here, just in this range. And, I kept on shilling Bitcoin to everyone. Some people listen, some people don't. I had a coworker. He was lucky. He acquired $600 worth of Bitcoin around here at $26,000. It was from a gambling website, and I'm like, congratulations. He's telling me he turned $100 into $600 of Bitcoin. I'm like, congratulations, man, that's amazing. He asked me how to start a Coinbase account so he can start selling his stuff. And yeah, he ended up selling it. And just yesterday I asked him, hey man, did you keep your Bitcoin or did you sell it? He's like, I sold it. I'm like, man, had you kept it, I mean, I let him know, you still won because you 6x'd your money. You won, like not a lot of people get to 6x their money. That's incredible. But had you have held on to that $600 would be up 40% and be worth about $900 or $850, $900, something like that. So I'm like, yeah, man, if you have an extra $100 next paycheck, just buy some and let it sit there for the next 2 years and see what happens. And then in 2 years, just sell it. But because I think chances are if he leaves it in there for a year or two, it'll be worth more than what it is now, which is at $37,000. And so I do think it's still a good buying range to buy at this price, even though we've been very euphoric over the past a long time. We haven't been down in this range since October of October 23rd. So it's been just going straight up for the past month. But even so, compared to these ranges right here, yes, it is super high, but also compared to these ranges right here of last bull run, we're still in the chop. We're still in the trenches, These were the trenches of last bull market when you compare it to these tops right here. So, but then again, you don't want to wait. The tops are very, very close to where we're at right now. I mean, it's only going to be like a 100 and change increase. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's just an 84% increase from here to the top. So I don't know, man. Like, Bitcoin is just rising too fast, too soon. Even though we lump sum all of our paychecks every 2 weeks, it just feels like I don't have enough Bitcoin, and that's how I'm feeling right now. I just don't have enough. Even though we established whole coiner status not too long ago and we made a video about it. It just does not feel like enough. I know there's only 21 million coins and 8 billion people. There's actually over 8 billion people right now as we speak, but I mean, it still just does not feel like enough, so we will continue to accumulate, and I cannot wait to see what type of socioeconomic status we will all be in as, Bitcoin bulls like us, and, we dollar cost average, and we hold our coins and we don't sell. I can't wait to see what happens over the next year or two. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Obviously, I'm gonna hope for another dip, like another dip here, and then whoop. But it's probably not gonna happen. Bitcoin has a way of leaving people behind, so it is what it is. But yeah, all right, guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much. I will make another video in the future, so please like and subscribe, and I will see you next video.